afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, hero of Flak, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to a 1 vs 1 on Crossing in the Woods. Yes, indeed, Crossing in the Woods. We shall be watching FFF Inquisition. They'll call him Federov because that's a lot bloody easier. Versus LeP fighting here for the Wehrmacht, for the Reich. Fighting for the 65th Infantry Division, holding the line here as the Russians under Federov and the 4th Tank Corps charge forwards in the hopes of securing this crossing for further advances into German territory. We've got double grenades there, we've got doctrines in terms of counter-attack, shock arming and rifle disruption, the NKVD versus elite troops, Ostrom and lightning war for LeP. Looks like we might see a right-hand focus initially from LeP. No, he seems to be shifting up grenadiers there, though he's not even secured the road point. Him, bit of an interesting opening there for LeP. He's actually spreading out a bit, which is a bit risky to do as the Wehrmacht. But there you go, we got plenty of countries there arriving, whereas Federov, of course, is also spreading out with initial focus here on the right-hand fuel point, winding off there with the truck before they realised they wired themselves in and was about to do it. Grenadiers moving up. Contact moving, looks like he might actually try and disrupt the faction here, but no. So it looks like the pioneers will be caught by Fedorov's conscripts. Rushing forwards for the glory of Mother Russia. Hoorah! Shoot the fascists, or at least, you know, scare them. There's a bit of shooting going on there, so the pioneers charging a bit too late there, though, a bit too late there. From LeP, already taking one loss. That's not really going to work out for very well, though they do get the need to and show him what for. Glacier taking the charge to move in, though again I feel a bit late there, a bit late for LeP. The troops far removed down the far left. You got some additional grenadiers there arriving from as you fight to control the munitions. There's got more troops arriving for Federov. Rushing in more men and weapons. Holding up behind the old truck there. Pioneers move back so far, 3 gunners here versus 3 conscripts with the 4th on the way. More grenadiers flanking in there. In the name of Deutschland, they attack, and they shoot, and they try to kill them. While the Russians, of course, are trying to sort of return the favour quite spiritedly. Meanwhile, looks like, oh, another Flak going in. I would have felt he might go for the cut-off, but instead he tries to deal with the forces here. By the way, this position goes out the building, perhaps not the best one, but there you go. We got additional goals here so far. LeP not getting an MG42 or anything like that, just relying on infantry, on soldiers. Interesting enough, but not uncommon. Meanwhile, though, Praxis take advantage of the hubbub over here to move up the left flank, secure points here, taking munitions there from Federov. Pioneers moving into the centre, but not necessarily the best engagement there. We got a bunker going up for LeP. Pioneers there opening up from the other side, while the guys are keeping occupied there on that side. The Pioneers not really going to do much there in terms of fighting, but of course the conscripts here overall taking advantage of this good fight could be sort of, well, engage much more easily with numbers there versus German troops, so they are taking some losses there. One unit already in a poor condition is forced off, and there we go. LeP here realises this is a bad situation and retreat before wasting any more men on it. They then proceed to send in another squad in his own unit rather than waiting for the others to get ready. Also, we got shock army here chosen for Federov. A bit rare at the moment to see shock army used, but it has certainly some things there to be utilised. The mortars, shock troopers, submachine guns, howitzers, and of course, Sturmovik strafing runs. Field hospital going up there for not but Federov. Rushing out of the cover, the heavy coming in towards light cover, perhaps not the wise idea in particular. There's a 2 conscripts or grenadiers there by Federov. That in fact proved to be a bit of a bad decision. In fact, it could prove to be a very bad decision. He loses those conscripts to the grenadier. If they could just hit. Conscripts holding line, there's more are moving in. Ish. But nicely done there, actually. We sort of push here for the cut-off by LeP. slightly and temporarily denying fuel there to Federov and his glorious Soviet troops. No tech up there for Lepaksina. No, nothing. Bit of shooting going on between the two. Gonna think about in a bad position. There we go. He does realise it and retreat, though. He might still end up suffering some rather punitive casualties. Meanwhile, though, maintaining good map control. But looks like Federov is finally going to say he's had it and actually shift over here. Begin taking a territory. About time that actually happened. The question is, what will Lepaksina do next? He's actually going for an early fuel cast. Now, that's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Though considering the sort of losses he suffered, the kind of manpower bleed, it might not be fully the most workable idea. But still, could prove worthwhile. Could be worthwhile. In particular, could be an indicator of some kind of longer term strategy there for him. Got tech up there, we've got sandbags up here, by the way, nicely positioned by Federov. Right flank collapses. Centre collapses a bit as well, gives way. There's more troops coming up on the left, but they're going to run into a lot of resistance here from the Soviets. Not really a very well executed assault there, I would say. Like to make another company halfway off. No doctrine chosen there for Lepaksina yet. No doctrine chosen. Pioneers cut down, and there we go, going for the fuel point as well. This is going to get a bit harsh now for Lepaksina. Overall, he's relying a bit too much on brute force, and the Russians here with the sandbags and the lighter size of the constructs can overall endure it rather well. Overall, meaning in that regard, he's just banging his head into a wall a bit, and overall not making much progress, whereas Federov is taking advantage of this to attack elsewhere. He's actually gone up to 5 counter-squads though, so he is having quite a bit of finisher there versus his opponent. Need to take those points there. Got more sandbags here being prepared by Federov. Well done, well done. Country continuing. I mean, overall, not really good engagement. There's only one guy who can shoot back, so this doesn't actually make an awful lot of sense there for Lepaksina. Might see a wipe there. Might, no. No such luck. Need to retake that fuel at the same time. Looks like there might be, yes, mines going up here for Federov. He could also lay down a demo charge if he wanted. Also right now, submachine guns are an option, so adding some closer quarter firepower there versus the practitioner's troops. And no, instead we're getting shock troopers arriving with their PPG-41s and lots of grenades and other nasty bits to deal a harsh blow to the fascists. As the fascists themselves are trying to make their way forwards, and there we go, arriving, and kaboom! Marmurov there leaving half the unit not in a good position. There we go, he is actually rushing here ahead. Rushing ahead, that certainly would explain the fuel cache there, not bad, though at the same time, just all grenadiers might not have been the most economical, since there'll still be a certain manpower drain with it. And certainly also lack more direct options for sort of at least sort of slowing down a shock trooper unit. Going to have to retreat here rather rapidly. A minesweeper is no good versus the shock trooper. Still, he should be able to get a palmer cop, and then he could either go for a Stug or a Flak panzer maybe. Of course, a Flak panzer rush is certainly a bit worrisome, in particular since he's not had the fuel advantage versus his opponent. I mean, he had the fuel cache, but he's not been able to deny fuel to his opponent. In that regard, he does have a bit of danger, and is very much in relying on your opponent actually trying to rely on coal in armor. Problem is, there's nothing like that here for Federov, so it could easily backfire here in the Lepaksina if he's not careful, because he's got nothing to support a Flak panzer versus armor. He's got Panzerfaust, and that's about it. So in that regard, it's a very dangerous move here by Lepaksina. It could potentially backfire on him. Of course, it could also work. More sandbags here from Federov, not giving up there. So not giving up and denying fuel there to Lepaksina either. We're certainly some time off from getting either Stug or a Flak panzer, and perhaps been able to better control the territory here, maybe with an MG42 sort of supporting at the right angle. Maybe he already would have had fuel to get a Flak panzer out now. Instead, it might end up being somewhat delayed. Noting, by the way, still no doctrine there for LeP Actionist's fight. Grenadier here joining into the fight, targeting in those dirty Russians, and there we go, good hit. Quickly caught by some conscripts. Interesting to note, though, by the way, despite all the conscripts, despite the doctrine, he's yet to upgrade a single unit of the PP towards one force. I'm not saying, and I'm definitely sure I've said that in previous videos, to upgrade every single conscript there with submachine guns. Just, you know, at least a few of them could certainly help him a bit as well there. Of course, ultimately, it is Fedorov's here decision, but it certainly does make it otherwise a bit of an odd doctrinal choice if it's only going to get shock troopers, for example, and not, you know, make use of any of the other bits available. Maximum ramming for Federov here, who's probably got a nice amount of territory that he's forced to fall back here, which could give a chance there for the Patriots to get back into the fight. Still, we need some kind of armor out. I mean, otherwise, he's not really going to take advantage of this armor rush he's basically pulled off. In fact, he's going to get hit here by regular armor from Federov, because the practice really wasn't able to secure enough fuel or anything like that, sort of, you know, get it ready to take off. So that was a bit unfortunate. Had LeP perhaps focused a bit more on maintaining control of that fuel point or denying his opponent fuel, things might have worked out a bit better in that regard. Of course, it might still, you know, work out reasonably well here. He could go, of course, for a Panzer IV. But I have actually seen a lot more players at the lately sort of going for a Flak Panzer IV, of course. I mean, you could also rush for a Stu, but that's still not really catching on. I mean, I'm pretty much the only one that does it, but, you know, it could happen. It could happen. But again, I'm guessing a Flak Panzer because I'm seeing more players do it overall. I've certainly done it myself, but again, it does require a bit of, you know, degree of finesse and a certain idea what you're going on. Again, you deny your opponent fuel. Otherwise, a Panzer IV or a Stug is a safer choice because either can much better handle armor than a Flak Panzer and also threaten more. And again, otherwise, you know, he should have had a like to make a nice company up, but again, that's not quite there either. In fact, he's got another Grenadier squad here. I feel the pressure might be relying a bit too much just on Grenadiers. He should also consider choosing a doctrine. So support things with, for example, you know, elite troops or lightning war could benefit from quite nicely. Shock troops launching their grenade going off. Pop 7 secured.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Conscripts moving ahead, they're getting shot at. Grenadiers being rushed off. Tank with the chain command up.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Bit of push there. We got a maximum action rushing through there for Federov here, a bit heatlessly, but it seems to be working off. In this case, there was nothing sort of really, you know, shoot him to bits and punish him. There you go. He can get a Flak Panzer. He could get a Stug, or he could go for the Panzer. He does go for the Flak Panzer. That was not just wishful thinking on my side, or partly worried thinking. Since again, it is happening more and more, which again is certainly need to see some players sort of trying different things. And again, I do think a Flak Panzer rush can work, and if it does work, it can be very potent. But it does require a bit of, you know, an idea of what you're going with your opponent, a bit of a control there. Otherwise, it can potentially backfire a bit. Though I suppose there seems a slight chance it could work even versus T-34-76, since of course the T-34 still needs to sort of get off some shots to deal with it. But still, it is risky. I feel it is risky. We got a full advance here from Federov. 5 country swords, 1 shock trooper unit here. Certainly 1 infantry unit is being emptied by the tank calling this advance against the Germans. And there we go. Flak Panzer mobilized in service of the Infantry division. Bit of armor called up to assist in counter-attack, and there you go. 30mm gun there, tearing into the conscripts. Certainly making things a bit more miserable here for Federov. But it is moving up as well. Good job, good job. Getting off some hits on the Maxim. Could even get it. I mean, that would be a good job there for him. He could wipe it, maybe even take it for himself. Decided to aim away just in time. There you go, conscripts were running ahead, but still they could bring to the arc of fire. There we go. But had to reload just at the time. But no. Failed to penetrate. That's a rather small chance of doing that. T-34 moving in. Flak Panzer a bit of trouble. And there we go. The problem that could happen. Very well. Has happened, but no. The T-34 does get away. I think he was worried about Panzerfaust. Otherwise, there's not really much reason, you know, get away from that kind of thing. Comes to their close getting wiped out. Federov here needs to be careful, otherwise he does face extinction. At least some of his men do. And there we go, they did get wiped. And shock troops here get one hell of a nasty price as they flank in, only to encounter the Flak Panzer 37mm high explosive shells. And now we're getting a half-track from Federov. It's actually been some time since we've seen a Soviet M5 half-track out.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
After them moving up, cover protecting the engineers nicely, point there being secured. Für Deutschland. LeP could, by the way, consider another fuel cache. And he's taken back though, getting a Pack 40 there. That certainly also works. Certainly not a bad response. Still need to be careful there with that Flak Panzer. He's only gotten 3 kills off so far. It would certainly not be very well to lose it already. That would definitely be a wasted investment, but there we go. M5 half-track out. A Lend-Lease equipment, specifically one that the Americans actually ended up just using largely for Lend-Lease, since they themselves had a few issues with the half-track itself. There were some problems there with it, which they did not quite like. They rather preferred the M3 half-track. Also a fun fact, apparently, the M5 actually could have not just one machine gun added to it, but 4. 1 in the front, 1 in the rear, and then 2 on the sides. Very fun fact, they're very heavily armed. But I don't think actually any of their allies they sent it actually used it like that. That was neither the British or the Soviets. Fun fact there. It would have been pretty impressive. We are getting the Kratma over there, the anti-air package there for Fedorov. Got counters there on the wrong side of the cover. We got the Pack 40 there ready to support. They were a bit dinged up. P-34 flying from the north. Rather close, careful. And there we go, Panzer Faustet. Still having a hard time controlling territory, certainly the AA half-track is certainly not helping there. Mines going off. No, that was actually a demo charge there, I think, set off here by the Flak Panzer. Mortar. Not sure what he's doing. I think he's trying to deal here with the T-34 using the Flak Panzer, trying to flank, but obviously doesn't always work, in particular with infantry covering the side there, so that was a bit of a silly move. And there we go. Half-track moving against the Flak Panzer. What is he thinking? What is he thinking? And certainly what's the practical thinking as well here. This certainly seems a bit weird. Pack 40 firing. Got a bit hit off the Flak half-track, but doesn't get it. Almost got it though, thanks to the Pack 40 infantry moving in. And there you go. T-34 got the Flak Panzer there. The Praxeter was a bit too slow then getting out of there. His hubris got punished by the wrath of Stalin. Meanwhile up north, a brutal encounter between shock troops and grenadiers. The shock troops even closing in. Not really much to do there. At the very least, you should have go for something like elite troops with stun grenades, for example, combined with T-43's projectile alarm, sort of, you know, to get the upper hand versus shock troops in just a bit. That's something to consider there. Pack 40 left out in his own. No one able to secure it due to being caught between a lot of machine guns. And there you go. A half to ahead. Ooh, careful, careful. Fedorov, you haven't repaired it, and you seem to have forgotten about that Pack 40. Just because the crew's dead doesn't mean it can't be recruited. And there we go. M5 wrecked. Smouldering ruin. Troops here reinforcing. Max up there getting pummeled with machine gun fire. While the grenadiers here reinforcing. And we got an airstrike going into the German base here. LeP is already a bit on the back foot as the Third Air Force strikes. I do believe it's actually time here for the mid-game analysis. Current situation, the situation is well pretty bad for LeP. His territories are scattered all across the place. His forces are not really well organised at the moment either. Though at the same time, they got sort of somewhat equivalency. The problem is just in part, you know, LeP's Flak rush didn't quite work out, and he's not really been able to follow up. He's also lacking a doctor to really, you know, focus his forces towards something. He should either consider getting elite troops or lightning, or either would benefit his heavy grenadier play, though for slightly different reasons. Of course, the G43s, but also the stun grenades. Here, of course, be G43s, but also relief infantry. So that kind of definitely either should be considered there. One quick option could be actually getting a Sturmgeschütz to help deal with the infantry, but also sort of keep any future armor at bay there from Federov. But otherwise, he needs to sort of make a more focused effort towards holding territory. Considering maybe a machine gun bunker too, I think would be a good move there for Federov, and would certainly help slow down some of the infantry advances there from the Soviets. For Federov and the Soviets, of course, need to be more careful with his armor, get more tanks though, and so he also begin to worry, you know, maybe he should consider getting something heavy, at least a field gun, because he should, at this stage, of course, know if you paid attention, you know that his opponent has a chance of either the Tiger or a Tiger race, so that's definitely something to be worth keeping an eye out for, even if he's got a few advantage. But otherwise, you know, more support weapons, a heavy mortar I think would be good for him, and maybe just at least one conscript there with submachine guns to aid the shock troops there in the art of shooting down Germans. Mines on sort of a more additional level would also, I think, be good. Another option would also be getting a howitzer. I mean, that could certainly work versus such an infantry-based army with a few support weapons. That could actually be quite devastating. So that would also be a very good choice, I think, there for Federov. But let us head back to the fight here. Nur die Kampf. Got the maximum up here. Needs to be pulled back for reinforcement or needs to be merged with. Otherwise, he does risk handing over to Fitz. Got that maximum ground against the Grenadiers, suppressing them. Engineers trying to take advantage of that, only get shot down. There we go. Sturmgeschütz now being sent to support here the Infantry Division. Probably dispatched from an assault gun battalion, or maybe one of the rare cases where a infantry division got a Stug instead of the Martyrs were supposed to have, since they were usually sort of mid-war to late-war equipped with a set of self-propelled tank destroyers. Later on that was actually meant to be Hetzers. Find the fact there. Occasionally they still get Stugs if they couldn't get Hetzers, but yeah. And Hetzer of course was basically an assault gun that was just designated a tank destroyer due to jurisdictional issues between Guderian and the artillery. Long story there, by the way, but still. Little fun facts, a little fun fact. But generally, Stugs were also organised into assault gun brigades and other sort of units there, sort of be attached wherever needed. That was usually where they were, though of course as the war increased they would usually find themselves in panzer battalions and other units, being used for whatever role they could be used, because the Stug did have a lot of flexibility. Of course it couldn't be used as a tank directly.
Redouble your efforts. We are down to 200 points.
Victory point wise, it is looking a bit bad there for LeP. Again, that's part of his problem with maintaining map control, and also his bit, you know, unfocused approach. He should definitely consider, I think, an MD-42 or some Panzer Grenadier more than just Grenadiers, which he's getting a bit of a hard time there sort of maintaining overall control. T-54 they're advancing up now on the Grenadiers. Stug ready to support though. Ish. Getting a pin on machine gun, and shock troops here winning up the engagement on the right flank again. Mortify doing the job there. Stug rolling up. There we go, shots fired. Oh, the Pack 40 is about to get cleared out by some shock troops playing T-54 moving in, opening up counter shot through their frontal armor of the Sturmgeschütz, which on the other hand got Yuri straight through the face. Whatever remains of it anyways. Stug here left to deal with the shock troopers as they move in. Another airstrike already summoned up here by Federov. Looks like the Soviet Air Force is very active today. There you go, quick strafe there. Doing quite a bit of damage there to the Sturmgeschütz through its rear armor. Bad situation there for LeP. And you might see the shock troopers wiped up. Heavy machine gun fire there going in. Almost, but not quite again. Need to be careful around though with that Sturmovik, and need to get that Sturmgeschütz back for repairs. Shot failed to hit there, penetrate. That was rather unfortunate. There's getting suppressed. Damage. Pack 4 not doing too well either. You got a point there being held as well. And he's lost his fuel cache, by the way. He's still moving back with his Stug despite the damage suffered. Second shot missed the T-34. Definitely unfortunate. Another strafe there, good lord. In this case does seem to fail most of the shots though. Much I imagine to the relief of the crew. There we go, got a full conscript roaring in. Bit risky there. Hits a crate instead of the conscripts. Good shooting there, Heinz. Keep it moving in there. Stug opening up, finally getting a hit there that penetrates. Marching the T-34. There we go, T-34-76 abandoned straight in enemy base there. I mean, it was a risky move by Federov. In this case, he did get punished in the most ultimate fashion. He handed over a tank there to the Germans, who certainly were not afraid to use Soviet armor. Generally, the Germans might have used overall in the eastern front about 300 Soviet attacked vehicles at most. Though, of course, those were the reported cases certainly wouldn't have been uncommon for German units to maybe sort of, you know, not report a tank they guard. Otherwise, they'd have to hand it over to the enemy. Or not the enemy, but higher commander of a panzer division. So occasionally, probably one infantry division or something might have kept a T-34-76 for themselves for armor support. So, Fritz, maybe you should get rid of the Russian. Nah. I'm sure it scares the Russians. There you go, once we're pushed off there. I mean, really, he's much too focused, I think, on the centre. Not so much on the Flak, and certainly not around, you know, defending his fuel point. In that regard, it does feel a bit like an unfocused approach here from the patch. I mean, of course, it could just be he's greedy, but I mean, I think he's having a bit too much faith in this gun. He just keeps sending in one-on-one in most cases, which does allow Federov to a certain extent to easily overwhelm them. Got the T-34 though being repaired. Gonna take some time.
We are ready for action.
Conscripts roaring, getting shot down there by the light machine guns. We got shock troopers, more conscript arming, still no upgrades for them, by the way. Still no upgrades. Federov could easily, by the way, afford to get another T-34 in moments. He should also have, oh, there we go, both pioneers are repairing that T-34-76 now, and we've got another Soviet strafing run going in already. Really doesn't give up, does he? He's expending a lot of munitions, and of course in this case I do have to question the sense of it, but there you go. About to lose that Maxim. Toad. But again, losing the left flank. I mean, in that regard, you know, I do feel that LeP action is basically greedy, over-ambitious, and doesn't really know solidify his holds before it's too late. The Stroke 1 to be repaired there, T-34 moving ahead, could be used to get some good damage off on the Russians, if used properly. I would probably suggest him moving into clear, but no, he's too focused on the centre. Too focused on the centre instead of, you know, gaining his fuel point. In that regard, again, a bit too scatterbrained. He's still losing a lot of victory points compared to his opponent. But Duke there getting repaired.
The enemy is taking our territory.
And another strafe here, doesn't really hit much. Molten gun is then about position. T-34 opening up, missing though. Got that Duke moving as well. Gute Arbeit, gute Arbeit. Shots fired, none really hit. Engineers are being rushed off. A lot of T-34s still in German service basically end up as armoured recovery vehicles, since mostly they get their church knocked off and really couldn't be used as much else besides that, and well, maybe tractors. So, a lot of detail there.
A sector.
Stug moving ahead, that should be the T-34 leading the way, the Stug following up on it. That would be a much more working combination there for the Factioner. He's finally getting an MD-42 there, it certainly took him bloody long enough. Screening a bit here, but again, not really overly focused, even then he's shifting over units here. Ah! Stay at distance, and get that T-34 to support. Chuck to take losses there to the Sturm gets up. We got a field gun moving up, should to fall back. Schnell. Missed again, though. Missed again. T-34 here. Other T-34 not moving in. Could have dealt with it, but as you know, he could have secured the left flank. Federov here, floating plenty of resources. He could easily, in fact, get more T-34. No, he's getting a heavy mortar. So it took him long enough to consider that option. But there you go, and getting some artillery there to the Soviet forces. We've got the T-34, we've got the Stuka Marine here, concentrating cover right in front of the T-34 is a bit of a risky measure. And there we go, routing ahead. At 40 firing, Stuka moving up. There we go, got off a hit. Almost fetching one down the Sturmgeschütz, almost. Still hasn't connected the fuel. Come on, man. Focus, LeP actioner. Maxim cleared out. And T-34's rolling off in both directions there. Seems like LeP actioner might be a bit too, well, not too focused on the victory point, but he seems to be forgetting a bit of other things in the process, which does bear all the risks. But he could consider getting out some more armor. Another Stuka would maybe help him right here. Quite a bit of bombardment firepower versus Federov, who's much more surprised not, for example, considering just, you know, getting more tanks. I think that would definitely benefit him. No target weak point there, but still got the T-34. T-34 cooked up. And nope, he immediately leaves the west side there on guard. I mean, he really should be doing more to defend those victory points, considering the state of things, but he's not really getting there. Got another T-34 there on the way for Federov. T-34 there, still waiting for repairs. Knowing that Patches does have a larger force here than his opponent, but he's, well, not really getting the most out of it, I would dare say. Almost got the counter support there, though. Almost. Field there rushing forwards, but that's not really working out there for Federov, as his men got cut down there by rifle fire. Sharp on choose a point. Still not repairing that T-34. There's a need to fall back from the conscript. Another light machine gun point there been secured as well. Things are getting a bit more focused here from LeP actioner. A bit more focused. He's still not repairing his T-34, by the way. He's actually moving ahead there despite having a damaged engine. And we got another strafing run there from the 3rd Air Force. My god. It's definitely active today. He only had that Flak panzer around now. He probably would have been suffering less from it. Stop the tank though. Remember, you can't repair while you are on the move.
Attempting to steal our sector.
The practitioner could even afford a Panzer IV right now. In fact, that might not be bad, but there we go. T-34 caught. Pioneers wiped out. Not sure why he insisted on repairing there, Ryan, you know, in safe territory. That was definitely a poor move by the practitioner. We got the Stuka moving in, but it's probably too late. Anti-tank right there. Finishes off the Beutel Panzer or looted tank. Stuka are going to have to fall back. Got men hanging about there. Mortar almost got up the third one's not getting too much done. At least not for the time being. Victory pointed back in the advantage there of Federov. Again, they actually need to get a bit more focused about this. He needs to get some more armor. Either that or get a doctrine up. I mean, he could in theory play for a Tiger Ace. It would certainly be cheap, but it would be an option. I suppose he could try and play for time, but really I think he should just get another Panzer IV because the Tiger would be too far off. Otherwise, he should also get a doctrine. I mean, with 32 minutes of the game, and the man has still not yet to choose a doctrine. Stuka there firing away, MB-42 covering as well. Trucks moving in there, there's the Grenadier. Right into the negative cover, getting cut down the light machine gun. Still not close enough there to go, forced him away. Maximally pretty sore spot there, but now their MB-42 going to look good. 3 gunners here left, by the way. Stuka there, 5 kills, Veterans who won. Look, Jürgen, we are finally getting places. Too bad they're all on the Eastern Front. And looks like he wasn't paying attention there. The shock troopers got themselves an easy kill. Fugen here starting up the advance with the Sturmgeschütz for the glory of the Reich. He's still not getting armor. In fact, he's flooding resources. He's really just trying to play for a tiger, in which case I do have to say I feel a bit disappointed there in the Praxner. A bit disappointed, well, besides the other disappointments. Konska's moving up here. Large amount, and there we go. He has gone for lightning one. It does look like he's aiming for a tiger, though it's going to be a very late one. And in fact, it might not be one that can save him. He should probably use those resources beforehand on getting more armor. In fact, he could easily have gotten 2 Stooks up by then, which would have allowed him to bombard his opponent quite severely. But no, nothing like that.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Nothing like that. More shock troops. I mean, I'm surprised. There's always shock troops over, but he just keeps sending in one grenadier squad with no support there. It seems a bit pointless. Now he's getting more grenadiers here, so the points are going down. He's still not making use of his doctrine which he finally got. I suppose he could say a bit more, get some relief in things on the map, but he sort of flat things, but it's not really looking good here. Still needs to get up target weak point! Or not. Definitely a missed opportunity. Oh, there we go. But too late. Otherwise, we probably could have gotten that T-34. Of course, it might not have done him much. I mean, he's really low on victory points now. He's not got a lot of troops left. He's got plenty of resources, but he's not using them probably because he's playing for a tiger. But again, you know, it seems a bit of sort of, you know, disconnect there with what's happening and what he wants to do.
25 points remaining.
There's moving hit. Sturmgeschütz going to have to fire hit. Closing in on victory too.
I fear we are losing.
And there you go, he's calling it a tiger, but now it's practically too late. Yeah, it is too late actually. Not practically, it is too late. And there we go, game over. Bit of a weak late game there from the Praxis. I mean, it's sort of an interesting start again, trying to rush for a stupid again. We saw again how it's sort of, you know, it needs a few requisites or prerequisites to really work out again. You either need to be confident your opponent is going to get armor because he's relying on doctrine, which is certainly hard to predict, or you need to be able to deny fueling up so it to work. In that regard, you know, LeP had a bit of a flaw. He was too greedy. He wanted to rush, but he also wanted to take most of the map, which overall made him rather easy to throw back, in particular because he just used grenadiers. He had no support weapons on them except a Molten that does lack a bit of punch at certain points. So in that regard, you know, LeP's strategy had several flaws in terms of execution. I mean, again, it's not a bad strategy, but it was flawed, and overall it was sort of, you know, hampered either by what was greed or some very serious lack of focus there from LeP. I mean, overall made him very sort of throw back. I mean, he several times sort of made him, you know, head back there against Federov, but overall Fedorov's strategy was much more level-headed, much more clearer, much more focused, despite, you know, sometimes, you know, questionable play of armor, but overall he saw it through. The practitioner didn't really. So there were definitely some problems there. Particularly, he wasn't really good at holding the fuel pump, whereas, you know, Federov got plenty. In fact, he could easily fly to the field with tanks, so I'm not sure why he didn't go for it. When we get to Howard, I mean, there were definitely some problems there for Federov as well, and definitely some things that could easily have been improved upon from his side as well. More mines would always been great, but overall, I really think the flaws there lie on the practice. Well, again, some good ideas there. Overall, the execution had some serious flaws. There were also some problems with repairing tanks and other bits there. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave some ideas for your own matches. If it did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send a replay on the part, some feedback in the comments section. If this is Imperial Dancing, cheers, and thank you all for watching.